Hello everyone and welcome. For those of you that are new here today, my name's Nikki and my channel is dedicated to all things literature with a special focus on reviews for books by lesser known or indie authors like myself. For everyone already familiar with my spiel, I'm so glad to have you back today. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. This book is chick gladiators. Need I say more? Yeah, probably. The Valiant follows 17-year-old Celtic princess turned gladiator Fallon. At the beginning of the novel, she has a sort of innocent naivete. She thinks that she's going to take over the world without really knowing how the world works. Kind of like me after high school. She's finally old enough to join the King's Warriors like her older sister had. And after she's made a name for herself doing that, she's planning to marry her childhood sweetheart, Male. Fallon looked up to her sister, who went to fight Caesar's legions and never came home. And all Fallon wants is to live up to that legacy. However, her father not only denies her a spot in his elite warriors, but also announces that she's going to marry Aiden, who is the king of an allied tribe, and he's also Male's older brother. The two men end up fighting over her, and she's not going to sit around and let a man decide her fate. So she's just like, bye. She just ups and leaves because she's not having any of that. And I really love that about her, just how fiercely independent this girl is. Unfortunately, being independent isn't the same as being smart, because her act of defiance works out a lot better in theory than it does in execution when she ends up getting captured by a band of slave traders. She's already given up her home and identity as a princess, but this definitely isn't what she had in mind. She tries several times to escape before figuring out that to survive, she'll have to play nice with the Savers leader, Charon, and she finds an unlikely ally in Kai, a young Roman soldier. Keep in mind, she does not like the Romans. They are the reason that her home has been invaded. She lost her sister because of them. She's just not a fan. So this friendship is something that she really wasn't expecting and really didn't even want. Upon arriving in Rome, Fallon ends up getting sold to a gladiatrix school owned by none other than Julius Caesar himself. Now keep in mind that Caesar is the reason she lost her sister, and she finds the idea of fighting for sport distasteful. So she's not enjoying life at this point very much. And all Fallon has left is her honor. So she has to try to survive and find out where she fits in her new world without losing who she really is. It's really pretty fun to see Fallon going through her trials and her attempt to hold on to her heritage, while at the same time learning her own strengths and weaknesses in these new adventures that she's facing. One thing that I will say is I think pacing was a little bit of an issue in this book. It's a pretty healthy sized novel. There's a couple of times where the story kind of drags a little bit. It takes a while from the point where Fallon is captured to when she actually gets to Rome. So it almost feels like the gladiator side of the story gets overly condensed. The battles in the arena are a lot more non-existent than I would have thought or that I would have hoped for. Fallon's a fighter. That's kind of the point of the whole book, is she is a gladiator. And there really wasn't a lot of fighting. Also, Leslie created a really eclectic cast of characters, which I loved. They all were very interesting, but there wasn't a ton of character development. She really just scratched the surface on who they were. You don't get to see as much of them or find out about them like you would want to. I'll say we needed more characters to grow and change and be more in depth. That said, however, I really liked watching Fallon's growth throughout the novel. It's nice to see a strong female character. You see her grow from that girl at the beginning of the book with dreams of grandeur to someone that knows the kind of power that she can possess and how to wield that power. The story is full of so many twists and turns that it keeps you invested. There are a few surprises that you can kind of see coming if you read between the lines, like I kind of did, but they're so well written that they still throw you for a loop, even if you kind of have an idea of what's coming. I really did like this story. It was pretty great. There's enough action and betrayal that Fallon has to navigate around that you just want to keep reading and see how she gets through it and what effect it has on her as a character. There's also enough romance that the goopy girly side of me really just wanted to swoon half the time. I did like that Fallon is her own person, doesn't need a man, but she lets Kai get close enough that they mesh really well together, and it was really nice to see this kind of romance. Keep in mind that This is taking place in Roman times where gladiators are slaves, so she doesn't have that same level of freedom that he does. So there's a little bit of a power difference there, but she doesn't let that get in the way of anything. She is who she is, and they both come into this friendship and relationship kind of with their own strengths. So this book is definitely one that I would recommend. It was really fun to read. Like I said, it could have been a little more in-depth. It is one that I definitely do want to go and get the second book and just see what happens next. Alright guys, so that's it for today. Those are my thoughts on The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. Definitely be sure to grab a copy of this one. It is one that I think people should definitely read, especially if you're into kind of that action-y, badass female characters types of books. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed my review, and you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I post new videos on Monday, so if you enjoyed this, definitely ring the little bell below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!